Well, there's a lot of things that she does really well, and I think there's a lot of things that make her opponents feel very uncomfortable. One of the things that she can't control is that she's a left-hander, and so there's always something about playing a left-hander that you get pulled out of the court a little bit differently. She can, with her forehand cross court, her forehand is really good, but I think her backhand is better. Her backhand is a little bit more of an aggressive shot.
Clijsters has put everyone on notice and made a bold statement about Alex Eala.
Clijsters has put everyone on alert and made a powerful statement about Alex Eala. Clijsters came out and directly declared that Alex Eala has the best technique in the entire WTA and that she can make her opponents feel extremely uncomfortable with her style, movement, and the way she builds points on the court. And Clijsters did not stop at a general compliment. She went further and emphasized that Eala is a natural left-hander. That detail alone makes it incredibly difficult for opponents to read her ball patterns because the court opens up differently when she plays. The angles change, and she uses her backhand as an attacking weapon more than almost anyone else on tour, making it her most dangerous asset against every opponent she faces. Then Clijsters broke down the full mechanics of how Eala plays and moves with the kind of insight that only someone who has competed at the highest level of the sport can truly offer. Clijsters explained that Eala uses her backhand to drive the baseline shot deep enough to push her opponent behind the line. From there, the opponent tries to respond with their own backhand, which opens the court for Eala to strike into space and force them to scramble. Clijsters stated that this strategy of making opponents run and chase eventually wears down every single rival. And at this moment, there is simply no one on tour who has fully figured out how to counter her technique and neutralize her strengths. Clijsters didn't stop there. She went all in and declared that Eala has the stamina and footwork to dictate the rhythm of a match from beginning to end. Eala has demonstrated this in some of the toughest matchups imaginable, including her performance against Iga Swiatek at the Miami Open. Clijsters added that beyond her athleticism and youth allowing her to cover the court so effectively, she has also matured mentally enough to compete against players of the caliber of Iga and Sabalenka, athletes who test every aspect of a competitor's game.
Work is really good. She has great stamina. She can play, we've seen her, was it Iga last year where she played a really good match, and she's starting to feel how old is she now? 19?
20, I believe.
20. Mm-hmm. She's still very young, but we see the mental growth as well.
Clijsters didn't stop there either. She went even further and highlighted the discipline and effort Eala has invested throughout her years at the Rafa Nadal Academy. She explained that being shaped in such a demanding environment means Eala has worked relentlessly throughout her career, and that constant dedication is the deeper foundation behind her success on the WTA Tour. But Clijsters also made another point very clear. Even though Eala is performing at one of the highest levels of her career right now, she still needs careful guidance and protection from her team and the people around her.
Work, you are respectful, you are, and she's been around that environment, and I think there's no coincidence that she has the results that she has. But I think it's going to be very important for her to be a little bit protected from the craziness that comes with that.
Above all, Clijsters made one thing unmistakably clear. The ability to instantly transition from a defensive back foot position into an offensive stance is what makes Eala so unpredictable and even harder to counter from across the net. With arguably the sharpest technique on tour at such a young age, she has firmly established her presence on court. And that presence is not fading anytime soon. Now here is where the story becomes even bigger, because it is not only a women's tennis legend voicing support for Alex Eala. Novak Djokovic has also gone all in. Djokovic stepped forward and called Alex Eala the greatest tennis player the Philippines has ever produced. He said she deserves every bit of respect and recognition the sport can offer. He didn't just speak about her on-court impact. He also addressed how her scheduling and court placements have been handled at certain tournaments, making it clear that he believes the way she has been positioned has not always reflected her true status and drawing power as a global attraction. When Djokovic makes a statement like that, the entire tennis world listens.
Yeah, that's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from
respective countries. Like, she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. You know, she's been the biggest ever, you know, tennis player from that country, which is a big country, and there's a big interest. So things like that happen. I mean, it's you could argue that it was, you know, maybe a poor schedule, and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court, yes.
And the story grows even more compelling because it is not only legends and analysts pushing this conversation. The players themselves are speaking out. Jessica Pegula, one of the top competitors on the WTA Tour with years of experience at the highest level, shared her own experience of facing Eala at the Miami Open. What she described was remarkable. The energy inside the venue was electric. The crowd was massive, passionate, unbelievably loud, and completely locked into every point. Pegula called it insane, and she meant that in the best possible way. She wasn't complaining. She was admiring it. She stood in that atmosphere and recognized in real time that she was witnessing something rare and special. Pegula was very specific. Whether it was Miami, the Australian Open, or Dubai, Eala has consistently drawn the biggest crowds of any player on tour. Fans show up for her in numbers no one else is matching right now. They travel across countries. They wait in lines far longer than usual just for a chance to get inside the stadium and watch her compete. That kind of pull is extremely rare. And here is Alex Eala already delivering it at this stage of her career, without any manufactured hype, purely through her talent, personality, and the undeniable strength of her story.
Amazing. I mean, I played her when she kind of broke out last year in Miami, and you know, I'm from there, and the whole crowd was against me, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, where do these people come from? And then week after week, as she, you know, has done well and established herself as a really good player on tour, they all come out to support her. And so I think we saw that in Australia when it was kind of overcrowded. They put her on too small of a court. We saw it here. You can hear it from the hotel. You can hear the crowd roaring, especially at night. So it's incredible.
Clijsters called her technique the best in the WTA, and she wasn't speaking in vague terms. She was pointing to something real and visible, something anyone who has watched Eala over the past year has clearly seen. We witnessed it at last year's Miami Open when Eala stepped onto the court against some of the biggest names in the sport and played with a level of maturity and technical precision that left the entire tour talking. We have seen it again this season in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, where she has continued to build momentum and prove that her level is not a temporary surge, but a sustained standard. Clijsters is not speculating. She is not projecting into the future. She is stating what she observes. And what she sees is a player with the most refined technique on tour right now. Djokovic called her the greatest the Philippines has ever produced and insisted she be given the stage her drawing power truly warrants. Pegula described the atmosphere around her as something that left a seasoned professional genuinely amazed. The crowds keep arriving, the legends keep speaking, and Alex Eala keeps stepping onto the court and delivering tennis that makes every word sound not just justified, but inevitable. Now, we want to hear from you. Clijsters says Eala has the best technique in the WTA. Djokovic calls her the greatest the Philippines has ever produced. Pegula says the atmosphere around her was unlike anything she had experienced. Do you agree? Is Eala's backhand the most dangerous weapon in the women's game right now? And how far do you think she can go? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We want to know exactly where you stand.